everyone, it's Gina from orchidandopal.com. Today I am back with two more of the Beads of the Month clubs for October 2022. I have Hot and Trendy in the Vintage Roses theme, and I also have the Earthenware selection for the 2-hole Beads of the Month club. These are the single sizes. They also, though, offer a double size in all of their clubs, so you get twice the quantities of beads that you'll see here. And they also have 4 other clubs with different types of beads that I've also shared here quite a bit. And they have a rotating club where you can rotate through all of their different ones if you want to get something different each month. These happen to be 2 of my favorites. I love working with the more adventurous check glass shapes and multi-hole beads, so I tend to like to get these in addition to their rotating club, and of course share them with you all so you can see if this type of subscription is right for you. If you'd like to try them out, I have a coupon code. It's Opal10, OPAL10. That will save you 10% off of your first month of one of your first clubs. And of course, you're welcome to sign up to more than one if you'd like to. They also have their optional Findings Companion Pack add-on that I shared in last week's video that you can check out, and you can get that along with any of your current Bead Club subscriptions. Let's go ahead and check out the Hot and Trendy Club first, and as you can see on the front, we have everything listed and we know exactly what we're getting based on that, and we can do a flip over sneak peek, and it looks like we've got some greens and reds and a couple of neutral options to go along with those. Every time you get one of these, the theme will be different, but it's always an assortment of colors and a palette that is meant to look really nice together, complements each other. But every time you get one, it'll be something different. And if you received one of these clubs this month, you may have received this particular theme, or you may have received something different. It just all depends on what you've gotten before and their stock levels. But at this point, let's take a close-up look at everything that they have included this month. So with their Hot and Trendy Club, this is great for you who don't mind working with multi-hole beads as well as single hole. Maybe you just really like check glass and all the various shapes and sizes that they come in. This will be one of those packages that you'll really enjoy because you never know quite what you're going to get. Our first container is holding the mint/white rippled buttons, and there's 8 pieces included. There we go. These are really adorable, and they have a light minty green appearance along with the white swirls that show up on both sides of these pressed glass beads with a hole that goes through the center of the side. They've got sort of a vintage design and feel about them. Reminds me of some of the older check glass beads. Next are the cranberry and mint flat oval beads with 12 pieces in the container. And this one kind of brings our entire palette together with this Vintage Roses theme. And we have, again, that minty light green, and this time some of that cranberry that's creeping in to that other color and combining. Some areas being a lot lighter than others. The whole runs through the length of these flat ovals, and they are very smooth and glossy, all of them being a little bit different depending on where the color is located. Selection 3 is the cranberry and white pillow bead variety. There's 30 pieces in this container. Another one of these bringing some of these colors together, this time with a lot more of that rich, juicy reddish tone and just a little bit of that creamy color that is mixing in with the transparent red and those really interesting pillow-shaped beads that are a bit irregular, more organically shaped, but having the smoothed out edges and a hole running directly through the center. Container 4 brings us some teal AB wavy leaves with 15 pieces in the container. These have a very rich green tone overall, and then the AB coating on one side really pops and gives you that metallic reflective shine and a little hint of some extra blue and maybe some gold and purple in addition to the green, and you can see some of that is also reflecting through the other side of the transparent glass. Lots of veining detail on these leaves and a hole that runs directly through the top so these would drop down. Next we have 6.5 grams of the chalk white red luster Rizzo beads. So we have these long ovals that have the hole at the top, so they drop down, add a very dainty fringe-like effect when they're used. And just a hint of pink and peach coming through that complement our other beads very nicely. I think this is a really unique theme with the brighter, darker colors, but also with the lighter shades of them included too. Selection 5 contains the dagger beads that are jade with Celsian stripes, 25 pieces. These are so fun. I love the turquoise green jade lake color that is in the background, the opaque glass that also has those metallic stripes subtly running across diagonally, the top and the bottom. Of course, these dagger beads have a single hole that's located at the top, great for things like beaded flower components or to use as a longer fringe-like element. Up next, we have the Crystal Magic Wine Heart Beads. There are 45 pieces of these. These are so sweet with their deep reddish color for the most part, but we also have a lot of the metallic showing up on the other side, especially some shades of gold and green, magenta that really pop. Also seeing that reflection come through the other side of the more transparent red areas. And you can see there where the hole placement is going up and down through these hearts, which also tend to bring in the different elements of our palette all together in one selection as well. And then our final container is holding the Chalk AB flower cup beads with 30 pieces inside. These have a stark white opaque color to these dainty flower cups. They are a 5-petal type flower in a more bellflower-like shape with a hint of the AB coating. You see the iridescence that shows up a little bit on the face and around some of the edges of those petals. And these bring us a neutral colored bead to add to our palette of lots of greens, reds, and pinks. So that's another really unique palette in this month's Hot and Trendy Beads of the Month Club. And even though this is the single size, there's still a ton here to work with. Everything is always high quality. You don't always get these same shapes, of course. There's so many different shapes out there. So it's always a really interesting surprise and mixture of different sorts of things. This particular club only had 1-hole beads this time around, but sometimes you see multi-hole beads, even 3- and 4-hole shapes show up in the Hot and Trendy club, so just be aware of that. And now that we've taken a look at vintage roses, let's pop into our Earthenware selection. This is the 2-hole Beads of the Month club, which contains 8 different containers as well, and we'll do a flip over of this one. Gorgeous earthy and ceramic tones and also some rich greens, looks like. And you can see the list of everything that is included. We'll go down this list again one at a time, taking a look at everything up close. Our first container is holding the French Champagne Peacock Diamond Tiles, and there's 20 pieces included. So that French champagne color is coming in from the base color of the glass that we see underneath the peacock design, which is that polka dotted design in the various shades of metallic, silver, gold, some magenta showing up on the surface. And these are similar to the 2-hole tile beads, except you can see they're set at a diagonal and more of a diamond shape. Up next are the Sage Luster Travertine Pyramids with 25 pieces included. So these are sort of like a cabochon bead. They have a flat base and the 2 holes running parallel through the bottom and the pyramid shaped upper area coming to a smoothed out point, the travertine giving us some of that stone-like finish on top of the glass with some of the earthy browns, and they overall have a sage green appearance with hints of bluish gray. Similarly, we have some white travertine pyramid hex beads in this next container. There's 5 of those included, but of course these are a lot larger. And instead of being a square shape at the bottom, they have that 6-sided hexagon design. Just like the other little pyramids though, these do come up to a bit of a point at the top. And they also have the flat base with the 2 holes that run through the bottom. The base of these is a creamy white, and then they have the addition of the travertine finish over top as well with that splotchy caramelly color that you see, giving those a more stone-like and ceramic look. Next, in container 4, we have the polychrome sage and citrus kite beads. There's 7 grams included. This deeper shade of olive green really complements our other beads, especially in those lighter and more neutral tones. You can see why they're called kite beads due to their shape with the shorter pointed end on one side and the longer pointed end on the other. The 2 holes run through the sides of these beads, and that polychrome is really cool because as you look at these under the light, more towards the edges, the surface of the beads can look a little bit more velvety or suede-like and are more of a toned down metallic. In container 5, we have the chalk orange luster flower button beads, 25 pieces included. Those are so adorable, and I love how they have the 2 holes on the face of the bead, just like little buttons. These are really interesting. I don't know that I've gotten these before. The color is very neutral with the light sandy tone and cream opaque glass with little variation where you see those petals coming together, and they are the same on both sides. Next up is our container of the Tinos Parpukas in metallic matte green turquoise, and there's 7.5 grams inside. Here we go. These are very similar to the kite beads in the sage and citrus polychrome. They have that similar metallic velvety looking exterior, but these have a little bit more of a turquoise and forest green appearance instead of leaning more in the olive green direction. And you can see where those 2 holes are located, going up and down through the wider base and out through the more narrow top of the beads. In container 7, we have the chalk orange luster rosettas with 30 pieces inside. And these are another cabochon style bead with a pressed rosette detail at the top, the flat bottom, and the 2 holes that run directly parallel through that bottom underneath the pressed flower shape. This is another beautiful neutral and ceramic looking bead with the opaque creamy color with just some hints of variation to the shade. And our 8th and final container holds the polychrome Viridian Super Duos with 12.5 grams included. Another stunning selection of a very popular 2-hole bead shape with, as you can see, a very generous quantity still, even though this is the single 2-hole club. Everything you see here, if you were to get the double size selection, you would still get the same 8 containers of beads. You would get twice the quantities though in that particular size. These Super Duos have that similar polychrome look as our 2 other ones in this selection, and these do lean a little bit more towards that teal or forest green combination and have a beautiful satiny metallic finish. Just wow, that's another gorgeous combination of beads that they've put together and another unique 2-hole Beads of the Month club with so many unique shapes and color and finish variations of check glass that I am very excited to incorporate into my stash, and I'm sure will be pulled into future finished pieces and tutorials. I think the curation of these clubs is so fantastic. They come up with such unique themes, which always makes for a great monthly surprise and always provides you with something new and different to work with. I'm also seeing a lot of things that would look great together from both of these clubs mixed, so it's fun to see these side by side and everything all together. And one other perk, when you sign up to one of their beading subscriptions, you also get a link that is located at the bottom of your paper invoice in your package every month that changes and gives you 3 new free printable or downloadable beading patterns. A lot of times those happen to include some of these more unique shapes and can provide you with some helpful inspiration. And I also have some tutorials that I've done, including some of these bead shapes that you can try out. A lot of times those have come from these clubs, and if you want to check out my website homepage, on the right-hand side, located at the bottom, there is a long list of different beads. And if you click on one of those particular shapes on the list, it will bring you to any of the tutorials I might have that incorporate those specific bead types. As a reminder, the link for this subscription will be located right down below the video. It'll take you to their main page, which will have all the information you need to know about their different types of clubs so you can see which one is right for you. If you're located out of the US, you can definitely send them an email and just ask for a quote and see if they might be able to ship to your specific location. Sometimes they're able to make that work, and their customer service is awesome. So that's all I have for now. Just a huge thank you to you all for joining me. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know if you have a favorite selection here or anything else you'd like to say. Go ahead and give the video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and feel free to share the video wherever you like. I look forward to seeing you all again real soon. Until next time, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. And as always, happy beading.